Hi there guys, this is 3DFX and today what I would like to do is to show you the very basics of Bitwig for beginners. These are things that I feel is important to know when you start trying to produce your own music in Bitwig, and I'm going to try to keep it very short and sweet for you guys. So the first thing that I would like you to learn is that whenever you're starting the program, it will look like this. And if you're looking down here at the interface of the program, right now you see absolutely nothing, right? You see no messages. But as quick as I start to move over buttons here, right now you see click, drag, shift, click, and so on. And if you move it over something else, you will see show arranger timeline where I am right now. It shows you what that button does or tries to guide you on how to use that particular function. So that's very good to know when you're using Bitwig for the first time. Why is that? Well, it's because every single button in the program has an explanation for something basically, right? Maybe not everything, but I mean, I think most function. You can see yourself here when I'm hovering, record, and so on. So that's good to know whenever you don't really know what something is doing. It gives you a clue. All right, enough about that. So the first thing, what I personally do whenever I'm inside of Bitwig Studio, it is that I shut off the clip launcher because I do not use it. You can extend the clip launcher if you're more interested in it and see what it does and so on. It looks like this, and then it takes up the full screen. You can disable it because I'm not going to cover it right now because I'm never using it, so I'm doing it like that. I think it's mostly for live recordings. This is interesting. So Ableton Live works something similar, I think. Anyway, whenever you have only this left here, what you're seeing right now, what you can do to understand a bit of the basic functions of the software is click this button and you will see 5 different tools, which is the most basic tools of Bitwig. So you have the pointer tool, which you can use to select stuff with. You have the time selection tool, which also is a selection tool, I guess. And you have the pen tool, which you can use to drag out or actually create clips and extend them. And then you have something called the erase tool, which you can erase clips with. And then you have something called the knife tool, which basically you can cut up sections of your clips where you need to with. So that's basically the 5 basic tools of Bitwig, pretty self-explanatory. So this menu right here, you can find in different corners of the program. You can either find it by clicking here, or you can right-click down here and you see the same menu. And you have split and you have insert silent there right now as well as some other functions. Sometimes when you click here, you will not see, they will be grayed out. I don't really know the exact reason to that. Might be because she's not, no, I don't really know the reason for that actually, but sometimes they're grayed out, and when it does so, try to click somewhere else in this region and you will probably see them. But right now you see that they're white, but otherwise they're gray. So that's the second way of showing the same menu here. The third way of showing the same menu, the third way is going up here. And now let's see here. I'm sorry about that. That's doing something else. Sorry about that. Let's cover this right now. So when Bitwig starts, it shows these 2 clips. This is a MIDI clip and this is an audio clip. And so Usually when I start a scene, I will start clean. So what I do, I hit the backspace button and delete them like that. And you know, you can have them there if you like. I just think they're unnecessary if I'm gonna use something else, so I don't use them. And so if you right click on this one, you get up add instrument track. These are MIDI tracks basically, and you can add audio tracks, you can add effects tracks, and you can add group tracks. So that's how you basically, if you click there, you see you get one of these tracks up here, and you can change the volume of that particular track. So that's good to know. So if I delete this one again, so I want to show you, for example, if you were to input a synthesizer, you would need an instrument track. If you were to input in a sample, you would need an audio track. That's pretty obvious, right? It's just good to know if you're a new producer, you do either that or that. But in Bitwig, it is so clever that, for example, if you need a synthesizer input right here, right now, which I know you do, you can just click this plus sign, just like this, and you can go down here and choose, for example, linear digital, and choose the very famous silent one, the legendary silent one for that matter, and you can hit OK, and there's your synthesizer. It is that easy in Bitwig, so you don't even have to right click and add instrument track to do that. That's how smart Bitwig is. And from there, the same menu right here, you can filter things. So say if you only want to filter audio effects, so it will show that. If you only want to have instruments like synthesizers, it will only show instruments, so it's easier to pick in the right hand list right here. So I'm not going to go too deep into this right now, but it can also find your presets right here. It can find something called multi-samples and your samples all within the same window in Bitwig. That is amazing. It's so simple. Like, you have everything under control at once. It may be looking advanced right now, but it's very, smooth in working. All right. So whenever you have created a synthesizer like we have done right here, if you double click it, you will get to the channel. You probably already are, so you can see the silent one down here. And whenever you click this button right here, you bring up your synthesizer. Very important, right? And so you can hear it. So the sound comes. All right. So whenever you have silent one, or whenever you want to write a clip, because you do need to write your clip, you can bring up this menu, right click and select pen, and you can drag out a clip right like this, and then you can right click it and you can select a color. I prefer green to leads or whatever, and then you can right click this one and you can rename this one to lead 1 or whatever you want to call it. And then whenever you need to edit this clip, you double click this clip. It's kind of much like Ableton, I think. Because I've been using Ableton myself for like 10 years, but I never really liked it. And then I started using Bitwig. I tried the demo first and I didn't like it either, the first version. But then version 3 came out of Bitwig and I never used anything since Bitwig. Actually, I bought it on version 4. I've been super happy with it. It's just the best of the best. Because it's so simple. There's just nothing that is as logical and simple, to me anyway. So whenever you now, sorry for a side talk, whenever you now have, say, 8 bars like we have right now, you are ready to start writing your clip. But the thing is, we have a weird sound. We could just change that to a preset that I always use. It is a beautiful pluck. And what we can do, we can check the delay. So we get a clean tone without anything bouncing around. And then you can start writing, you know, your track from here. And it's important that you stick to, you know, an even number, like 8 bars like this. We have covered all over. And I can learn you what I mean by bars. I may not have done that so far. So this is 1 bar. Why is this exactly this region here 1 bar? It is because it goes from here to there. It is not 2 bars. It is 1 bar because it goes 1. You may believe it's 2, but it's not. It's 1. Whenever you drag it all the way to here, it goes 2 bars. 1 bar, 2 bar, because you have traveled from 1 bar to 2 bars. And that's 2 bars. And so to get to 8 bars like I do, it means you have to pull this thing all the way to 9 here. But it's actually showing 8 bars because 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, 5 bars, 6 bars, 7 bars, 8 bars. Bars is important for you to count if you want to know where you are in your song. So that's a good, you know, thing to start counting easily right at once. And another thing I want to mention, let's say you have written your melody. I haven't written anything yet, but let's say we just write a few notes up along the clip. Doesn't matter what it is now. So now you have filled your 8 bar clip, right? So to be able, let's say this is a loop now. So, or a sample or something else. So whenever you have this loop region selected, you can click this thing right over here, and whenever, like if you look down here, you see what it does. So like you see right, like it says transport loop. So this button right here is called transport. So if I click on transport, what will happen is now I can play my loop, but it will not only play the loop, because if I play the loop now, it will continue playing. Let's take it from here. And that's the last note. And it will continue. You see it continues that way out. But whenever you have a transport on, it will start looping from the other point, so that you can hear that you have written a loop that loops flawlessly. And that is pretty important. So for example, this counting the bars is important, but also using this loop function is very, very useful and very, very easy way to make sure you are, you know, in the right position on your track. So these are some of the basic functions that I believe that you have to know in Bitwig Studio before you start, you know, mixing. And as I said before, here's the volume button, so that you can change the sound, but you can of course also change the sound on the synth itself. But this is the basic functions, and I'm not going to talk anymore about how things work in the program for now, because I will do this in later videos where I will be producing my own tracks where you can learn and see for yourself how it works. So if you're interested in seeing further videos from 3DFX, please make sure you subscribe and click the bell button to make sure you see notifications on new videos that will come from this channel. And I wish you guys a very nice day, and I also hope you like this video. If you do, please give a thumbs up and come back to my channel whenever there's more. Alright, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and thank you for watching 3DFX. Goodbye, friends.